Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Can you all hear me okay?
Yes.
Yep, perfect. Okay. Just letting one or two more people in and we will begin. So just bear with me for a moment. You can unmute yourselves as well at any time if you have any questions that you want to ask either myself or Jen. All right. Okay, I think we've got everybody who's joining us live. So welcome. We've got with us, obviously, Jen from Holland, America, who's going to go through a presentation for us all on what we can expect and things to look forward to. And hopefully everyone's as excited about this as I am. You want to take it away, Jen?
Yes, I'm excited. Cannot wait to get back on a ship after way too long. So I'm so glad you're all coming. This is like such an insanely busy time for you. So truly appreciate that you're giving your time to come on Holland America Line. So that's very exciting. So this is actually this presentation is very relaxed. So I'm just going to show you sort of, just give you information more than anything. It's a huge year for us in Alaska. We're not just sort of returning after 2-year pause there. This is our first full season in 2 years. So it actually marks the 75th anniversary of us sailing in Alaska. Holland America Line introduced leisure cruising in Alaska. So it's a huge year for us. We are the experts. I want to showcase the ship, obviously, to you and the brand Holland America Line, but it's just so exciting that we're actually going to be in Alaska for it. So it's just going to be a huge year. And the ship that we're on, the Koningsdam, that is it's her inaugural season in Alaska, and it's the first Pinnacle class ship, so the first of our newies that we've got in Alaska. So you're one of the first. It's fantastic. Now, just briefly, I'll be bringing my husband with me. I know it's an educational, but we really want this you to enjoy it like you're on a good holiday. That's a bad shot of my husband, but a good one of me. That's why I included it. Just so when you see us, you'll definitely see us the first night and, the next day, but just so you're familiar with how we are around the ship. We're going to be at your, available for anything, but, your time is going to be yours, except for 2 little things we want you to come to. So it's just sort of very relaxed. We just sort of want you to see top and tail, absolutely everything you can on the ship, so you can be huge advocates for it. Also, we'll just sort of let you know what we're doing sort of each day. So if you want to meet us for a drink before or after dinner, or, what show we're going to be on, if you just sort of, want people to hang with. So as I said, it's very, very relaxed. I'm going to try and put together a must-see list of things that are on the ship that are really sort of unique to us. So, but we'll talk about that sort of once we're on the ship. So we just want to make sure that you go to all the included dining options as well, just so, Holland America Line, for those of you who aren't familiar with it or who never sailed on it as well, we are very different than the other premium brands out there, and we really want to showcase that for you. And it very much sort of rings true with the food and the entertainment on board, but particularly to the destination. So that is not the Koningsdam there. We still don't have a proper shot of the Koningsdam in Alaska, but you get the gist. It's a beautiful, beautiful cruise. So before you go, please download our Navigator app. So this is just your sort of little go-to. It should have your digital boarding pass on it. It just expedites the embarkation process, health assessments. You can actually use this to book shore excursions. It'll come up with a little daily timetable for you. So each day you can press, as we get sort of closer to the embarkation date, it'll tell you, what shows are going to be on, other little sort of, things that are going on around the ship, just so you know. And it'll also put in your shore excursions any dining reservations that you have as well. It also gives you the dress code as well for each day. So that's a great little thing. It's also a good communicator. So we might, is someone ringing in? There you go. Okay. We can use this to communicate together sort of as a group. So I'll still work out whether we do that or WhatsApp, because WhatsApp, so we can just sort of communicate as a group, so you know really what I'm doing, so I don't have to individually tell everyone what's going on. But a little bit closer to it, I'll sort of send out an email to everyone just to let you know how we're going to do that. But it's great for us to share photos as well. We really want you to sort of tag us in any sort of photos you take if you're sort of sending anything to your sort of work portals, or even if it's personal. It would be great if you could do that, and we could just sort of share photos amongst us as well. Other important downloadable apps before you go to is actually the Verify app. This is really an American thing, but we've just noticed we as Holland America Line have registered for it. Not many cruise lines have. It's mainly an airline thing too, but it actually has all of your documentation in it. So once you get your all your passport details, your check-in number, everything else for you to check in with these. We've got our own app, but this one actually is just another great backup as well. And the guests that are sort of checking in really sort of fly through a little bit faster with this, because it's all just easy to read. They know how to read it. It's what the Americans use. So it's a free app, just worth uploading to your phone as well. Now, I don't know if you're all flying into Vancouver or and how long you're actually going to be going beforehand. But with the Arrive Can app, which everyone has to have, that's your entry level into Vancouver. You need a visa if you're flying in, it's $7. But there's a lot of paperwork to do forms to fill out online to do that. That needs to be uploaded here. But this Arrive Can, you actually physically can't upload it all until 72 hours out, because there is a health declaration and those other things with it. But if you're flying into Vancouver, one thing that we just found out last week, that if you're flying in over 72 hours, you'll actually need to fill it out again 72 hours before you board the ship. So if you're flying out 4 days before, or a week or whatever, you'll need to do that twice. So you need it for entry onto the ship as well. And don't forget, even though you're in Canada, we're actually going to the US. So once you actually check into the ship, so you go through Arrive Can, the Canadian customs on the ship, and then our own check-in, you will actually be met by the immigration department for the USA. So don't forget to download your ESTA, or to actually get an ESTA at $14. I would assume everyone's has expired by now. So it's $14. It'll be in your passport. So they're right there before you go onto the ship. That's all you need to know about the forms. Your online check-in, so on the Holland America Line portal or on your Navigator app, you need green ticks everywhere before your boarding pass is issued and before your luggage tags are issued. So that's sort of what it should look like. And then 72 hours out, again, you need to upload your health assessment. So I've just put a little arrow there. This is my one. So 15th of June is when we have to put in our negative PCR test. So 72 hours prior, a negative PCR test, or if you're going to get the, what's the other one called?
The antigen. Rapid antigen.
The rapid antigen, sorry, there you go, an observed rapid antigen. So like at the chemist where they sign off on it, that's 48 hours prior. So I would imagine you'd be doing that in Vancouver if you're doing that. I'm flying out on Thursday evening. I think our flight in Sydney is about 8:30 or something. So we're going to get one done at the airport, at Sydney Airport, and wait for that and then upload it. So that's sort of plenty of time for us. It's about 60 hours or whatever before we board. So that's the documentation. And your preliminary boarding pass too, and on your boarding pass, everyone will get a check-in time. So I said it's very streamlined these days, and they're very strict about the boarding times you get. Previously, we were all, a little bit relaxed, but now you should have a boarding time of either 1:20 or 1:40. It's actually an early sail away. If you've been following it, you've noticed that we've actually moved it from 4:30 till 4 p.m. is the sail away. So that's sort of quite early. So, you'll be on the ship for a late lunch. If you're checking out of your hotel at sort of 11, you could probably just leave your bags there for a little while you go for a walk around. But don't turn up too early because they will make you wait. And again, the Verify line is shorter than the other one. That's the other thing too. Always bring a hard copy. Please bring a hard copy of your vaccination certificate, your international one from the government, from your Medicare app, and also a hard copy of your PCR result or your your other one that I can never remember.
Can I just ask a question on this boarding pass, Jen? I did check mine last week, and it said that I had been allocated a boarding time of 12 p.m.
That would be right then. That would be it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Are you in Club Orange? Did you upgrade to Club Orange?
No, just said you're in a group A boarding at 12.
Oh, okay. Well, then there you are. I just sort of had a look at the majority of them, and that's sort of what it came up with. My husband and I upgraded to the Club the Club Orange amenities, just really because I wanted to see what they were like, and that just sort of gives you a little bit of an early time. So I think I'm sort of around about the same time, but the majority of everyone else is sort of about 1:20. Yeah.
Jen, can I just ask, can I just ask again, can you just go back over about the PCR, just go back over that whole PCR thing for the actual, so the PCR is for the cruise, not to arrive into Canada?
Yes, yeah. Only if you're flying into the United States do you need a PCR. Isn't that just ridiculous now that they're about the only country in the world that you get one to fly in? Canada you don't, but they can do random ones, we have heard. But you only need to your certificate of vaccination. That's all you need to go in. But the ship, you need a negative PCR for 72 hours out, or a rapid antigen 48 hours out if it's an observed one. You can't do it yourself, so it has to be sort of an official one.
So with the one for the ship, is it 72 hours prior to the boarding time, to the departure time, to the day before? What's the?
That's a good question. It would be boarding time. It would be 24 hours before you board. 72 hours before you board.
Right. Okay, might have a bit of a problem. But anyway, all right, we'll see how we go.
Actually, I'll check that for you, because it would make sense that it's departure time, because everyone's on by, everyone has to be on by 3:30. So if we're only talking sort of your boarding time's only 2 hours before that.
Yeah, so that would have to be, you have to have it done before, like no earlier than the Wednesday, is that right?
Yes, Wednesday would be you're from Perth, aren't you, Emma? Hi, Emma.
No,
Melbourne.
No, I'm in Melbourne. But I'm
Melbourne, sorry.
on the Rocky Mountaineer for the 2 days, so I don't know how I'm going to get a PCR test done. But anyway, I'll have to.
The holiday, your hotel should be able to organise that, and we've actually been looking too, because some of our staff here have been are going to be getting it done in Vancouver. So there's many, many places in town like that is definitely walkable. So when are you actually arriving in the city? Is it sort of that morning?
No, well, so I'm doing the Rocky Mountaineer is on the Thursday, which means you're on the train all day Thursday, all day Friday, and then we go on the Saturday, don't we? So it'll be,
Your hotel in Jasper or wherever you are should be able to do it. They will definitely have testing.
Yeah, I'll do some investigation. I'm just more worried about the 72 hours, because I think that, unless I try and get it the morning on the Saturday morning.
Yeah, I mean, because you're in their time, like we're sort of coming from here. So it would definitely sort of be Wednesday. You'd need it done Wednesday.
Yeah, all right. I'll have a look and see what the facilities are.
Okay.
I've booked a supervised RAT test in Vancouver. If anyone wants the details for that.
Yeah, that'd be great, Karina. What time? Like, is it just during the day? Will they do it at the hotel? Or
no, you walk to the clinic, but it's not far. It's in downtown Vancouver.
Okay. If you could send that to me, that would be awesome, because I might have to do it on the Saturday morning, maybe.
Yeah, that should be fine. I think I've got
any group thing, a group contact, Karina, that you can send that to for us, please?
Yeah, that would be great. I'm in Vancouver as well, so that'd be fabulous.
Yeah, I went just searching online and found one where you can actually book an appointment, and it seemed to be the most economical one. I think it's about 70 Canadian dollars plus tax.
Okay.
And it's an instant result.
Yeah, they're pretty instant. Well, rat tests are instant. It's the PCRs that they send off to the lab, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, it's pretty, well, it's obviously would be pretty quick for them, and then they must email or text the results to you. I don't know if they print off a copy, but they must just send it to you as an attachment.
Great, thanks.
Yeah. So
And are you doing the rat test or the PCR?
Rat test.
It's the rat, so you do a
Yeah, because I think leaving, my flight's at 9:30 a.m. on the Wednesday, so I'm pretty sure that's outside of 72 hours by the time that all
Yeah, me too.
gets
it would
converted
be.
to Canada.
Yeah.
If you want to send me the link, please, Karina, I'll
Yeah,
forward
sure.
it to everyone in the group, just so everyone's got it, and then they can decide whether it's going to be better or easier for them to do it in Australia or in Canada when they get there.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you are able to do it in Australia before you leave at the airport, is very convenient. I just went through that less than 2 weeks ago, so that was easier. But it depends on what your flight time is.
How quick was the turnaround, Karina, at the airport?
I think it took 70 minutes. So they guarantee within 90 minutes, but I got it back earlier than that.
Excellent.
Because I was on a flight to a country where I had to have it to check in. So yeah, that was very efficient and quick. So if you're in Sydney, I think Melbourne do it as well. That was
Yes,
great.
Melbourne do it at the airport.
Really
Same
streamlined.
thing.
Yeah.
Excellent.
But at least this one I booked for Canada, which I will send the info. It's good because you can just book a time. So I think mine's like 6 p.m. on Thursday or Friday night, can't remember now. And yeah, at least then rock up. I'm sure it's a quick process.
Yep.
So it's about as easy as you can get, I think.
Thanks.
Yeah, no worries.
Excellent. Okay, yeah, that would be great if you could do that on the app. Now, shore excursions, if you can, and if you bought our Have It All package too, you'll get shore excursion credit in there. But just to give you sort of an idea, Max and I have booked one at every port that we're in, Juneau, Skagway and Ketchikan. So highly recommend that you at least do one, and just to really sort of get the full sort of benefit out of going on shore. You can only see so much from the ocean, from the land. We also have, I don't know whether you know, a best price guarantee shore excursion. Sometimes they seem a little bit exy, our shore excursions, but obviously they come with guaranteed, pick up and return to the ship on time. We do, if you find an shore excursion that's almost identical, it looked like, and leaves, it's apples for apples, leaves on the same day, there's actually a form on our website that you can fill out, and we will guarantee that we'd give you 110% or whatever of the difference in onboard credit. So we've always had that. We never sort of really spruik it. It sort of really only came in about a year before COVID started. So it's never sort of really kicked in. But I would say, because Alaska is waking up, buyer beware of shore excursions that are independently run, particularly if you're thinking maybe float planes and things like that. I'm just saying, just make sure they're really reputable. I'm not saying don't go ahead and, do your own thing by any means, but just really sort of just be careful, because remember, some of these businesses there has been some sort of land business for them only, sort of just from Americans sort of passing through last year. But yeah, they're just sort of kickstarting their businesses again and just sort of getting back on track. Now, this is a real photo of the Koningsdam going under that the Vancouver Bridge there as a sail away right at the very beginning of the season. So it was probably a little bit of a sail away. We're going to have some little farewell drinks or sail away drinks that I've organised. So this is one of the 2 compulsory things that we'd actually like you to come to. So this is going to be just exclusively for the creative cruising agents and their partners. The sun bar is up on deck 11 midship. So there's, a wind barrier there. So this is obviously weather dependent, and I'll let you know on the day if it's going to be too ugly to go up there. But we'll just put on drinks for an hour and some nibbles as well, just so we can all meet each other and we can all, just swap plans and, you know, put some faces to some names, which will be fantastic. So that's right up. And I've picked this bar because most of the cruise population will be down on the Lido deck, sort of down at the back, or I'm not sure whether many will be on the bow, but it's just sort of a nice private bar for us. It is exposed to the elements, so rug up, and hopefully we'll get some sunny days up there. The next event that we have is actually going to be in the next morning. So this is just a really casual product update from me. In the Half Moon, we've got sort of 4 meeting rooms downstairs. Well, I'll put this on our little a reminder, because you might forget after your first night at sea. A little reminder on our, you know, personal group, just to be down there sort of at 10 a.m. Well, I'll just sort of run through, point out things on the ship, talk about our fleet. Obviously, we've huge Europe deployment as well, our home ports, everything. So we'll just sort of touch base on a few of those things, and then a great opportunity to ask questions too while you're all in the room. Hopefully I'll have together by then a little, you know, must-see list to hand out, because the artwork we have on board is just fantastic. It's really modern and really sort of out there, and there's lots of little sort of hidey places on board that, you know, lots of little intimate little bars as well as the nice big ones too. So just want to make sure that you get absolutely everything you can at it. Now, this is a sea day. There's 2 proper sea days, or I think 3 sea days. There's this one, the last full day, and Glacier Bay sailing is considered sort of, you know, an at-sea day. We're not actually going into any port, so you won't be here any longer than 1 hour, I promise. Now, I've actually trying to get a viewing for an inspection for us at Club Hal. We've got a brilliant kids club, but because of the COVID procedures and everything at the moment, I'm not quite sure how that's going to go. We might have to do it sort of once we're on the ship. So I just wanted to sort of slot that in, and even if we sort of break the group up a little bit, and because we don't have kids on board, we can't just sort of rock up into there. So I'll do a brand update, and then, you know, I'll throw it over to Cara. I have another group on board as well, so I'm sort of splitting my time between the 2 of you. So this is your sort of allocated session with me, but definitely you have my full attention if you need it while we're on board. So just letting you know that there are other friends on there that you might know as well. Now, what to pack? This is not my suitcase. I never pack like that. But the dress code, that's a huge question on board. We are very casual, both day and night. Now, casual means sort of jeans and jumpers and, you know, just sort of smart. It's a premium cruise line, so, you know, you just wear appropriate clothes. In the main dining room, which is a beautiful main dining room that is inclusive in your fare, so that we expect men would wear a collared shirt to dinner. So we don't, you know, we don't refuse entry on casual days, but prefer not that you don't wear T-shirts. This is for dinner. T-shirts, shorts, or sort of ripped jeans. When we have lunch there, lunch is available on sea days as well, you know, obviously, you know, whatever you're wearing during that day. And it is open for breakfast every day too. So you can have a sit-down table service breakfast as well. But, you know, we would assume you'd be dressed sort of to go out on your excursions or to go out onto land. On the Navigator app, as I said, it's already up there, the dressy nights. So these are we don't really sort of refer to them as formal nights anymore. So they're just dressy nights, and they're usually sea days. So I think it will be the first, not the first night, the second night, which is the first sea day, and also the Glacier Bay day, that is going to be a dressy night. Now, in the main dining room, again, like we use that as our sort of, you know, pillar. If you're in the main dining room or any of the specialty restaurants, they would prefer that men wear a tie with a business shirt or something. And if they've got a jacket, my husband will probably take a jacket, so not a suit, but, you know, just sort of probably casual pants and a jacket that he can put on, because we plan on going to one of the specialty restaurants on the dressy night. So it's easier for girls. There's, you know, you don't need to take a gown, but just, you know, like you're going to a nice city restaurant, like it is sort of a little bit easier for women. We can sort of, you know, dress up with lipstick and whatever. But yeah, just whatever you're comfortable. But it's not compulsory. It's really, they prefer it if they're the restaurants you're eating in. Otherwise, if you just sort of, you know, don't want to do that, you can always go to our casual dining options and just sort of wear what you'd normally wear. So the dress code's in Navigator. We have, you will need a US or a European adapter on board. That is if you're sort of plugging in other things other than your phone, probably your computer, those sorts of things. I would imagine most of you will be working. I still have to work while we're on here. USB ports, because this is one of our newer ships too, are at the bedside and I think on the desk in the room as well. So there are USB ports on board. For the outdoors, now here is me in Mental Hall Glacier, so that's on the Juno port. Layers is the key, because it's one of those places, it's beautiful sometimes in the sun, but the second there's a cloud and it does rain a lot, it gets really bitey. So a really good warm outdoor jacket, preferably waterproof if you've got one, otherwise just a good spray jacket over there. What I'm wearing in that's why I've got it in there, is actually a sort of a thick raincoat. So I've got a jumper, sort of scarves, everything underneath. We just wear jeans for getting around. If you've got a good pair of hiking boots, they're always good. Particularly we're doing a fishing trip, so I'll sort of want waterproofing my hiking boots, and I've got a really light pair of spray pants that sort of, I don't know, I'm not a skier, but I would assume you'd wear them skiing or something, but just sort of light that you could put over your jeans if you're going out wet. Take a small backpack with you, because you'd be surprised how much sort of crap you have to carry around with you, your layers and things taking off. So that's always a good thing. And if you've got any binoculars too, we've just got little travelling ones that we took to Africa one day, and they're fantastic, particularly in Glacier Bay, because we're in there for the day. And we've got a ranger on board who's giving full commentary, and it just sort of, makes the scenery pop a little bit more. So if you can borrow them, I wouldn't go out and buy stuff if you're never going to use them again, but if you can borrow those things, totally recommend doing that. Now, please, if you can, or if you haven't already done it, go on to our portal and complete HAL Academy. It's not that huge a deal, and it's not that long, only a couple of glasses of wine. You can do it over a couple of nights before you go, and just to really familiarise yourself with the ship and with our brand as well, just so when you're on there you can just sort of see for yourself. It just gives you a real sort of comparison point, and, really gives you sort of certain things to sort of look out for. So, really, really, hopefully, I'll highly recommend that you do that beforehand. And 22 sleep. So please stay well. Don't get COVID if you haven't already have it, or if you want to get it now, so you can just get back on board. Any questions? I'm sure there'll be a lot.
Just in regards to that, only because we've just had a situation with a staff member on a Famil that unfortunately didn't quite make the cruise because her husband tested positive. If we go booking shore excursions and all of these things and we can't go, are they refundable or? Totally
refundable. Yeah, totally refundable. Yes, that's sort of part of our thing. Even if you just decide when you get on there and you don't want to do something in Juno, you can cancel. We normally have a 3-day cancellation turnaround anyway on our shore excursions. Yeah.
What about have it all?
Yes, if you don't cruise, it will be refunded. Because this is a Famil, they normally. Normally it would be anything that you were purchasing for onboard the ship would be refunded, but the cruise fare itself, that's sort of if you're a regular cruiser, it would be in a future cruise credit.
Okay.
In the form of.
Thanks.
And then catching COVID on board, so if you were in, say, the first port of call, you get back on board, you feel sick, you get tested, you have COVID. Are you quarantined in your cabin, or will you be expected, or will they put you off the ship at the next port of call? No, we don't do that. No, and because some European countries would require that, but no, not in Alaska. We would keep you on board. And we're sort of thinking, the cases that we've heard of too, people have been negative getting on, and it's sort of taken a few days if they've sort of gotten it. Usually they're sort of on and off. They're on for a couple of days, and then it is reported to the Canadian government for disembarkation, and it's up to them whether you go into hotel isolation before you fly out, or they might just think, because we don't have testing in the country, they might just say, well, go straight to the airport and get home, sort of
where you will be at the mercy of the Canadian government then. We'll isolate you, make your life very nice on board while you're in your stateroom. And remember, you've got a veranda, so that's the plus as well. Your travelling partner, if they're negative, they might move them rooms if they still test negative. Obviously, if they're positive, they'll stay in there with you. But we're not going out full at all. One, for this very reason, and two, because we're just sort of starting back again. But we have a lot of isolation staterooms to manage that as well. Yeah.
Thank you.
Jennifer.
But yeah, while you're on the ship, we'll look after you. But when you get off, you're at the mercy of the Canadian government.
May I ask, I saw on the website, it said if you've had COVID within the last 90 days, that you don't have to do a test. I'm currently at home with the dreaded spice, and I just wanted to know whether that will override if I get the paperwork that states I've had the virus and recovered from it.
Yes, it does. It has to be official, but I still think you need to have a test.
Yeah.
I still think definitely if you've had it, take that letter with you. But yeah, just on the odd chance that, because you might have a negative test and then you might be one of those random people at Vancouver Airport that they test randomly, and then all of a sudden, this virus is so insane, who knows when it pops up or whatever. So just if you've had it, definitely get something from your doctor.
Awesome.
With the timeline. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. And you mentioned before the Sydney testing at the airport. I have a 5-hour layover on Thursday. Do I need to book in to go to the testing station there, or is it just a walk-up situation?
Oh, no, they recommend you book it.
Okay.
I had a look at the website. I can't remember the name of it.
Sydney Airport?
Yeah.
No, you go online and prepay for it. I think it's $79 or something.
Mm.
And then you just rock up.
It's Histopath.
Awesome. Thanks.
Go on the Qantas website.
Yeah, it was really efficient. I just did it a week or so ago. Walked in and was out in 2 minutes.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Karina, did you have to wait on before you checked in, before you got those results? Did you have to pick them up, or did you go through immigration and everything and just get them sent to you at the other end?
No, I had to wait, got the results, went back and got some printed stamped copies because I was going to Qatar, and it's a requirement to enter Qatar to have that. So I had it on my phone and I had a printed stamped copy. So they're happy to do that for you as well.
Great.
So it depends on your final destination. So for Vancouver, it's not a requirement to have that before boarding.
No.
If you're on a direct flight, possibly if you're going through the US. But yeah, that was very efficient. Sydney.
Okay. Anything else pressing? You're all freaking out that you've only got 22 sleeps to go and you've got so much work to do, probably.
Absolutely. And what to pack. I know you literally just told us what to pack, but still, like, what the hell do I pack?
Oh, okay. Well, you need one pair of jeans, like good comfy jeans for like touring, like shore excursions. We've booked a bicycle like down a hill, so you might never see us again. I don't know. We're going up instead of the Skagway train. We're going up in a van and then coming down on a bike. So I think just like cycling, I'll just have either my exercise gear or like some good thick, like gym gear too. Like I could do that and put my, the rain pants over the top of that. I don't know, but boots, comfortable shoes to walk around in, just one pair of sort of flats or something for the ship, probably wear the same pair of jeans to dinner or like, light pants, just sort of, pack light. The most important thing is a good jacket and a scarf, like just to get in all the little cold bits. Gloves. I haven't been there in June, so we're going to be very lucky with the wet, or, it'll be a little bit warmer. I've only been there at the beginning of May and mid-September, so sort of the ends of the season. It was bitey, but, you can have your days. Just be prepared. Great gym on board, pools, if you want to go in the pool. Other than that, I just pack light. And don't forget your phone chargers. and your computer cord for your laptop, those things.
I just also wanted to mention, for those of you that have done the Vancouver Specialist Program, the destination passes should be issued around about the 2nd or 3rd of June. They are waiting until sort of 2 weeks before everyone arrives, because once the pass is issued, it is only valid for a certain amount of time. I have done some more investigating with some of the free activities that I'm personally looking at doing. So more popular things like the Capilano Suspension Bridge in Vancouver, Fly Over Canada, etc. With the COVID restrictions in Vancouver, they actually are requesting bookings for nearly everything. So once you do get your pass issued to you, it's always a good idea just to jump online and select either the tour or the activity that you're wanting to do, and actually pre-book that. It doesn't need to be done weeks in advance. Most of them want the booking within 5 to 3 days before you turn up, but they are still doing a lot of social distance requirements, and I guess that's why they are controlling the number of people that they're having in any one of these sites at any time. And if anyone hasn't done the program yet, you've still got plenty of time to, well, not plenty, but you still have some time to do it.
Larry, you sent that out, didn't you? Because I can't go through my emails.
I did. I'll send it through to you again, Emma.
Thanks so much. I know you did, but I was going through my emails and I couldn't find it.
Can you send it to me too, Lara?
Not a problem.
Thank you.
And it also includes, most of them as well, your traveling companion. So it's not just free activities for yourself, it's also for your traveling companion.
Perfect. All right.
Lara, can you send that across to me?
Yes, Callum.
And I have a question. I'm very unorganized and haven't booked my Vancouver accommodation. Where's everyone staying? Has anyone, is there something that, just wondering?
I think there's a jazz festival on that weekend, or there's certainly some stuff on. But so the accommodation is getting a little bit tighter.
It's a bit pricey.
I did spend the weekend doing the Marriott training, which took me about 4 hours, and then got to the end of it and then put in, they only have about 30 brands and about 500 hotels, but nothing was available. But so maybe for after it, there might be some stuff available, but yeah.
It is quite booked out, and it is quite pricey in Vancouver those few days that we're there. I'm personally staying at the Pinnacle Harbourfront Hotel. I have stayed there before, and it's only about 700 metres walking distance to the port. It's quite a good, reasonably priced hotel for the area. Easy to get into Vancouver itself, easy to get to the port. So that's sort of why I've chosen that one. But obviously, feel free to have a look around and see what you like the look of.
Yeah. Okay.
Karen, Claire and myself have booked the Hotel Belmont in Yaletown. And we emailed them for a agent rate, and at that time it was about $350 a night, I think, maybe perhaps 400.
Yeah.
Lara, I have a question about the disembarkation day.
Yes.
Because some of us will be flying out that night. Is there a Holland America luggage storage in Canada Place that we can use?
So I'm actually flying out that day as well. And what I've done is I've booked through Holland America, which is just on the shore excursions on their website. It's a hop on, hop off bus, and then you get the tickets to on the train, but they will take your luggage from the ship to the airport for you. Now, I haven't personally used this before, so it's my first time trying it out. I don't know, Jen, if you've got any further information on exactly how that will work when Hal is going to take our luggage to the airport. I assume there'll be a desk at the airport.
You assume it's going to be there when you get there. They would definitely have a storage place, because that's a great question, because we were sort of wondering what to do as well. I'll find out where exactly you meet your luggage, because it is one of those tours, isn't it, that you can just arrive there anytime. It's not like you have to be back at the airport for. They'll definitely have they'll absolutely let you know where your luggage is going to be, but I'll find that out before we go.
Amazing, thank you.
I was Googling, as you do, and it looks like there is at Canada Place a independent luggage storage, a day storage, and it looked like it was about $20. for the
Yeah.
day. So it's not overnight
yeah.
storage.
I did also look at that one. It does
Yeah.
have a last pickup time of 5 p.m.
Yeah,
but if
it's
it's
not that
busy,
late.
you've got to
Yeah.
be there by like 4 or 4:30. So if
Yeah.
you've got a flight out at 10 or 11 at night, you have no choice but to be back there, by 5 o'clock to collect your luggage. So that may not work with what it is that you're wanting to do. That was what initially I was looking at. Then I found the HAL option on their website. I thought this sounds much better because it's allowing me to go at my own pace. And then, the hop on, hop off bus is something that I wanted to do. And then the ticket for the train to get to the airport is pretty simple and straightforward. So,
yeah, great.
Any other questions from anyone?
Well, can't wait to see you all, meet you all in person. Very exciting, 3 weeks.
Hard to believe it's come around so quickly.
I know. When you think like when was it, the 2nd of January or something?
Yes.
Like, that's ages away.
Yes. All right. Well, we'll see
Exciting.
everyone in, I guess, 22 sleeps.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Thanks,
everyone.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.